We are committed to our K-12 curriculum to provide as many opportunities for students that can help them discover their interests and talents and work toward a successful future. Our academic pillar also supports a strong professional development program. Research continues to support the importance of highly qualified teachers in the classroom. This is why a goal of our strategic plan is to inspire all staff to grow through professional learning opportunities. Last year, the Plymouth School District received the Vision of Education Award from the University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. This award highlights our commitment to invest in highly qualified teachers because we understand that the skills and expertise of our staff directly impacts the success of each student. The Plymouth School District has built a system where teachers are encouraged to lead and use their expertise to continuously improve and develop an outstanding education system for the needs of our student population. We continue to utilize this expertise through our professional development days, summer curriculum opportunities, and our ongoing leadership positions. We know that to invest in the knowledge and expertise of our staff is to invest in the future of our students. We also invest in our students by providing outstanding variety of extracurricular activities to participate in. Once again, the comprehensive approach of our extracurricular program provides opportunities for all students to find an interest and participate with peers. Last year, we were able to implement our new intramural program at the middle school. In 2017-18, we had 142 students sign up for this program, and we are hoping to see this grow this year. We added an art club, an elementary skiing club, and a fishing team. Each one of these opportunities offers our students a chance to build an interest, make connections with other students, and to learn through positive hands-on experiences. Our community engagement pillar is also part of our ongoing strategic plan, and this past year, the Plymouth community supported the students, the district, and the community overall by passing a $31.9 million referendum. We are grateful for this, and we look forward to the opportunities that will afford this community as the vision continues to become a reality. We are diligently working on planning and developing, and soon we will be celebrating the first groundbreaking here at the high school in October as we implement the building project. Although exciting, we do understand that with these opportunities come expectations that our students and our community will benefit from the programming and opportunities afforded through the building projects. Through our community engagement pillar, we will continue to pursue partnerships that benefit both our students and our community businesses and our community as a whole. We will continue to offer a state-of-the-art community education and recreation program. We will build partnerships as we advance our curriculum in the areas of agriculture, health-related careers, and engineering, to name a few. And as we move forward, it will be important for us to communicate our progress to the community, and we will do so. Although we have seen significant growth between our school district and the involvement in our community, we understand that we will still face challenges. And as we move forward with our community engagement pillar, we will continue to set goals not only for partnerships, but for mentorships, and do everything we can to utilize the support of our community to build a resilience and a spirit of success for our students and their families. While the Plymouth School District continues to increase programming, provide optimal experiences for students in our community, and update and maintain our buildings, we continue to maintain a budget that receives a per-pupil revenue amount that is in the lowest 25% of other school districts in our state. Last year, our legislation approved a per-pupil increase for low-spending districts such as Plymouth, and I'm proud to say that our board has worked diligently with our legislators to equalize these spending inequities, and for the first time in this budget, you will see a start to bring Plymouth School District up to the average per-pupil spending. I thank our board president, Tim St. Clair, and our board for leading an initiative with our legislators to develop a resolution that is mirrored in this legislation to help rectify the inequity and to allow for local control. You will see this in the budget that will be presented. Tonight, we are all being asked to approve the local tax levy that will then combine with the state and federal resources to fund the educational programs and operations for this district for the 2018-19 school year. This year's budget is the board's, the district leadership teams, and the entire faculty and staff's best interest at this time for providing a plan to utilize our resources to meet the goals of our strategic plan and the comprehensive education that emulates the spirit of our community and our district. I thank John Miller for his efforts and talents of developing and managing our budget. I thank our school board, our administrators, and all staff for the dedication and service to our school district. And finally, I thank you, the Plymouth community, for your support of this outstanding school district.
Thank you, Carrie. And this is my time to address you, people and the citizens of the Plymouth School District. Good evening, and thank you for being at our annual meeting. My name is Tim St. Clair, and I am the Board of Education President for the Plymouth School District. Tonight, you will hear about our budget for last year and the new budget going forward. I am proud to say that Plymouth School District continues to remain financially responsible while still maintaining the outstanding educational program. I would also like to thank our legislatures for the low revenue increase that we will see in this budget this year. In the budget, you will see the priorities of the Plymouth School District based on our pillars of excellence. Our strategic planning identification priorities in our academics for our students, and it stresses the importance of literacy, math, STEAM initiatives. It also includes a priority to continue to engage our community through community engagement pillar. We believe that when our students are connected positively to our community, they will be more successful. I want to thank our community for the support of our school district. The passing of the referendum in April will provide for many new opportunities for our district and our community. Thank you for the support. I want to thank the administrators, teachers, and staff for all the work they have done for our students. I'd also like to thank John Miller, Plymouth School District's business manager, for putting together this budget that we will be presenting tonight. John?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is John Miller. I am the Director of Business Services here at the Plymouth School District. Tonight, my purpose is to share with you the status of our budget as it was in early August when it was published, and to show you how your proposed tax levy is calculated, as well as answer any questions you might have about the assumptions or foundations. As we look at the budget in August, we were showing a deficit of roughly $113,000. Without some context, those are just numbers. Why we have a deficit is our projected increase in revenue in August was less than our projected increase in expenses. But quite frankly, we are in a better position than we were this time last year when we were projecting a $141,000 deficit. So, and we ended up, we were projecting, more than a $200,000 deficit, and we ended up with a surplus at the end of the year of $141,000. So we basically turned that deficit around, and I fully believe we can do the same thing this year. The budget is made on a set of assumptions, as spoken in both Carrie and Mr. St. Clair's presentation. Our revenue limit has increased, and this hasn't happened for several years because of that low revenue bump the legislature gave us. We will be getting an additional $218.78 per student in revenue cap increase. That is the combination of equalized state aid, computer aid, and your property tax levy. We will be projecting this revenue against a slightly lower student count. We have shown basically a very slight percentage decrease over the past 3 years, so our rolling average of 3 years of students will be lower than it has been the prior year. And we also got an increase that everyone got in the state, which is a categorical aid of $204 per student from the state. That's not included in the revenue cap, but in the governor's budget. So while everyone got the $204 per student in this categorical aid, not all districts got the $218 per student in the revenue limit. Those are only the low spending districts. If we look at the revenue changes here, you'll basically see them, the largest change in the state sources, and again, that's because of that categorical aid and also increase in our equalized aid. Our local sources, which are tax levy and fees, are for the operating part of our budget is almost staying the same. There's a slight growth in interdistrict. That's our open enrollment dollars. Federal revenues are pretty much the same. Last year we sold the final 5 acres of land we had for sale, which was obviously a surprise from the budget that we had budgeted. But going back to a more normal number this year, we don't have any land for sale. But overall, we're looking at a 2.8% increase in revenues. And these, again, are the major sources of revenue. That revenue bump limit increased our revenue by $285,000. That first student categorical aid increased it by $449,000. Open enrollment, more open enrollment dollars inbound. The major change there was actually that the state increased the dollar amount that both ingoing and outgoing students are worth. So a student coming in is worth more and a student leaving is worth more by a little bit. Actually, our overall enrollment number hasn't changed that much. And again, we won't have that land sale in this year's budget. As we look at our budget over time, and I show this graph every year, you can see that the state is picking up a greater and greater portion of our budget. Back in 2013, between the state revenue and equalized aid, we had 48%. And as we roll this graph forward, you'll see that those grow and our reliance on property tax shrinking, and that is all, I believe, the overall vision of the state to have it less dependent on property tax and more dependent on the state. So then it goes up to 47, to 50, to 51, to 50 again, to 51, and this year we're looking at 53% of our budget supported by the state and only 36% supported by property tax. And the other ones vary a little bit by 1% here and there, but frankly, they're such a small piece of the pie, it's not as relevant. Then we start to look at the expenditure side of our budget. You will see here from budget year to budget year, we're growing 1.82%, and from what we actually spent last year by 3.4%. We underspent our budget in salary and benefits, which was a little bit difficult to do, but we did have a number of teachers, I believe 3 full-time staff quit very early in the year last year, and they were replaced by cheaper substitutes or different people during the course of the year, and that's where most of that money was saved. But we are not exactly comparing apples to apples here. This new budget has an additional 3.55 full-time equivalent teachers. They are in the areas of Plymouth, at the high school of alternative education. There's an additional middle school classroom teacher. There's an additional middle school, high school counselor position. There's a greater percentage of teacher applied to in the elementary to both reading and physical education. In actuality, there are 2 other teachers we've added besides that 3.55. They were funded by having less support staff or aid reductions. So it's kind of a balance of having less 8 hours paying for teachers. One thing that will help our personnel budget is that WRS rates are again decreasing because of the really good investment market. So we'll be dropping those another 2.25% beginning in January from what we contribute. We did, however, last year experience a very significant health insurance renewal, and that would have really done great, I guess, damage to our budget numbers, but working with our consultant, we were able to change the vendor and policy, and our increase is only 4%. However, know that that did definitely change the insurance package that we have at the school district. Our dental rates were 0, and now we have an employee-funded vision program now offered that we never had before. That costs the district nothing except collecting money off their paychecks. Other expenditures, this graph here is really only important in the bottom line. The Department of Public Instruction changed many of the codes in this, so it's very difficult to compare 17 to 18 in many of those categories. I'll give you some examples. In the services area, previously when we leased a vehicle, a copy machine, a mail machine, anything we leased, those were spent in the capital equipment line. Now they are spent in the services line. Software was previously spent in the supplies line. Now that is spent in the capital equipment line. There are several other changes like that which make it very hard to compare the the category of supplies from year to year. But if you look at the overall bottom line, we do see some growth in the overall budget of things, but it's mostly due to line number 2, due to other school districts, which is the growth in open enrollment out, and we'll see that rather dramatically on a graph coming up. But that is where almost all of the growth in service supplies and equipment is paying other school districts to educate Plymouth residents. So that is, again, in looking at the major changes, there certainly are some buried in there. Open enrollment growth is $380,000. Again, that was before we have any counts of any kind back in August, but that's what the roster told us. We have a district-wide technology increase. There's a big computer buy going on to add more one-to-one capability down even to the level of elementary school. District-wide supplies requests are up about $70,000, and there's some new grant dollars in there, which are both matched on the revenue and expense side. We have the first round of a safety grant. The state gave us $74,000 to do some enhancements and training. We budgeted at that time $50,000 for a Fab Lab match. The state gave us $25,000 to put a new piece of equipment down in the technical education area, and that's been recently ordered. And actually, that budget's going to be a little light for that, but we will have a new lathe, I believe, down there, a router rather, for our students to work on. And again, last year we sold the last of our land. There is no land sale project money in there. Years ago, the board dedicated the land sale money to be used for maintenance activities. We still have nearly $90,000 available for that. So at any point in time during the course of the year, the board could choose to allocate that money to an additional maintenance activity that you might have. But right now we haven't budgeted because really a lot of our focus this year is on the referendum activities. So, but if something comes up, it may well happen. Overall, we are a people business. Almost all of our salaries and benefits are spent on, our money is spent on salaries and benefits for people. And from, what is that, about 6 years ago to today, the changes in percentages of what we spend here vary 1 or 2%. Again, I show these every year. We are very static in terms of what we're paying our money for. I guess it goes up a little bit in the contracted supplies and services and a little bit down supplies. And that contracted services, again, includes that open enrollment out where really our greatest growth has been over the years. Open enrollment, again, when we do it in August, we take this roster of students that we have both current and applied for and put the best case of scenario for revenue coming into our district and the worst case for those leaving. And as they filter out, we decrease both numbers. The student count is coming up next week, and we will know exactly where those numbers fall out. Looking at open enrollment, we can see what that kind of growth that happened this year. Really, the roster didn't increase much on the inbound side. That's that blue line. Only the dollars per student did. The roster increased about 40 on the outbound side, so that's both the dollars out and that roster growth. Most of these students have never attended Plymouth School District, but they are either simply 4-year-old kindergartners who have daycare options at other locations typically, or they are students who move into the Plymouth School District but choose to continue to attend the school district they were attending. Other funds within the annual meeting booklet, one is the debt service funds. Debt service funds normally are very simple. We just levy an amount of money to pay our debt service, and most of this we are paying right now is about the Riverview project that was taken on quite a number of years ago. We still have about 8 or 9 years of debt to pay off on that. And for the first time, we will be levying for the new referendum project. Those funds were borrowed in the late spring. The district did borrow $21.9 million of its $31.9 million possibility from the past referendum in June. In doing so, we improved our bond rating in the process, and we were able to borrow that money at a lower rate than anticipated. That will save taxpayers some money over the course of the life of the bond. We still have an additional $10 million to borrow. We pushed that off to calendar year 2019 so that borrowing could be done on a bank-qualified basis, so the interest rate would be even lower than that, hopefully, which we borrowed in 2018, unless interest rates push up significantly since this past few months. And obviously, when you borrow money, you also have to start to pay it back. And the biggest increase in our levy will be the first payment back on that referendum, or an additional almost $1.1 million of taxes for the next year. The building project fund, basically where we take all of that borrowed money and put it into, we now have invested in various very safe instruments that is generating interest to pay for furniture, fixtures, and things that the owner has to pay for within the referendum and make it even that much nicer as the project goes on. But we do anticipate spending about $16.6 million of our referendum dollars by the end of the next school year. Most of that not very much of that has taken place. We have paid maybe $250,000 out so far in engineering fees and architecture fees and whatnot, but once the shovels go in the ground, the money comes out rather rapidly. That number might be a little heavy, but I guess I'd rather be conservative about that spending dollar and not have to come back to the board and say, we need to increase our budget in this area in June, but rather just underspend it. That's more likely a number that we'll have spent out by the end of August next year, in my estimation. But it's early. And again, we anticipate this referendum building project to take the better part of this summer, next summer, and even the following summer before all those funds are diminished. The food service program is another independent fund in the annual meeting booklet. The program showed a profit, small profit of in 17-18, maybe $8,000. So that's been true for the last 2 or 3 years, has had reasonably good performance. And sales have been relatively stable, even though we increased prices last year. However, because we have both a profitable program and a reasonable fund balance, the DPI and the federal government guidelines that drive it said we did not have to increase meal prices this year. So that's a good thing for certainly our people who are eating hot lunch here. And just a reminder that this is not a credit program. However, we did have some success in that area for the first time in quite a while. We collected more funds in sales, so we did drive that credit program, that credit balance down. And our fund balance is over $100,000 in that program, which is about 1 month of operations, which is far better than it used to be. In the Community Edge Foundation, we ran a small deficit. Community Ed is kind of in the mode of running a deficit last year and this coming year because they are doing a bunch of capital expenditures. They are doing quite a bit of remodeling of their facilities, adding equipment, and will also be making a contribution to the building project to add some enhancements to the physical fitness center when that comes up this year. We are suggesting no change in the levy, even though they're running a deficit because they have a very adequate fund balance. They were up near $500,000, which is almost half a year of their operations. And to take that down to something like 1 month or 2 months is very reasonable, making capital expenditures. Most of the programs are fee-funded and cover themselves, such as the daycare and the evening classes, but there are the levy actually funds things that don't have a real revenue source. Years ago, we decided to put the middle school extracurricular programs within the Community Education Fund. And that's a program that runs $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 and really only collects a very small amount of fees from the students to cover it. We have a nutrition, garden, and wellness coordinator programs that don't create a lot of revenue, at least yet, but there's still personnel to be paid for there. And we have the whole community ed overhead operation that coordinates all these classes and whatnot. And that gets to the second part of our presentation, which is the tax levy. This is going to look familiar, but slightly different. The tax levy calculation is again based on the 3-year rolling average of students. This year we get to multiply that number by the new $9,400 per student, which is basically the baseline low revenue for school districts in the state now. That's up over $200 from last year. We are adding an estimated $65,800 in open enrollment exemptions. We had to refund some taxes last year because of assessment errors, very small amount, but those you get to add on the following year. And then we also have the private school voucher program, which we fund. That's the amount we paid last year. I think it won't change a lot, but it's a total guess until basically October, because the state gives us no information on the number of voucher students that are enrolling in the private schools that we would cover. And that results in our new revenue cap of $21,266,000, and you can see the increase in revenue limit cap that we had last year. Then you also need to know, to develop your levy, what your equalized aid is. We are projecting $11,266,000 in equalized aid. That's a 2.3% increase from last year. I think that's a conservative figure based on what I've seen, but I think it's reasonable because we didn't spend our entire budget, and the numbers that the state projects are based on spending out your entire budget. We didn't do that last year quite so. So it's probably a reasonable guess, certainly one that we made in August that's going to give us a reasonable levy estimate. So what you do then is take your revenue limit, you subtract that equalized aid estimate, you subtract your computer aid, that's the amount we had last year, and it's almost identical to the year before, and that gives us our, well, that's 16-17 is a typo. That should be an 18-19 allowable tax levy. Sorry about that. But that is our allowable tax levy. That is broken into two parts, our Fund 10, or operations levy, and our Fund 38, which is a non-referendum debt service we have for a bond issue that was taken out years and years ago for the Wisconsin retirement system when they basically imposed a debt on all WRS contributing school districts because of inadequate collections and when the two systems merged. It's a long story, but we're getting actually fairly near the end of that debt service. I would say in the next 5 years, we will only have a Fund 10 levy, and that number will move up and be available for operations, which will be nice. Can we get rid of that thing, Kurt? Thank you. Okay, so that's the two parts of our levy. If we compare our levy to last year, you'll see that the general fund levy is only up about $24,000. I would say that's in the margin of error. That non-referendum debt is actually a little bit smaller. It's the same levy for community education. And obviously the growth in our levy is from that new debt service from our referendum. By comparison, last year we levied $11.3 million. This year we're levying $12.4 million. That's a 9.75% increase. We estimate the mill rate right now to be $8.92, which is a growth of 78 cents from last year. That is well below the number we projected when we did the referendum, where we said we'd try and stay under $1 for sure and probably around 95 cents, but also realize we haven't borrowed all the money yet. Now the money isn't going to be, the way the debt service is set up is that when we borrow that money next year, that's the debt we will be paying off first. So it will have a lower interest rate, and right now we have some capital, principal payment of the current levy in this. We won't have that again for 10 years until we pay off the new issue. So it's not going to grow by 50%. It's going to grow by maybe 20 cents per thousand at most, kind of thing, to stay under that figure. And again, we will also have a valuation increase. That mill rate may be high. The state overall, I believe, is projecting out right now with a 4% valuation increase of all property in the state. I don't know how that necessarily will translate to the Plymouth School District yet, but that's a very good sign of keeping our mill rate lower because the denominator in that figure is going to be greater, and that's not considered in this mill rate calculation at all. One thing we can note here is that Plymouth has historically always been below the state average tax levy and will continue to be as well this coming year, even with that 74% added to our mill rate from last year. We're still almost $1 below the state average, which is just under $10 per thousand. So even with our new referendum debt service, we're still in good shape compared to the rest of the state and the level of taxes we pay in Plymouth. Would be remiss without giving you an idea of what's coming up in the 1920 budget. Our student count, while is declining slowly, is fairly stable compared to many of the districts around us, quite honestly. Talking with other districts, the declining enrollment continues to be a problem in this state, except in very certain areas of the state. Our revenue limit will increase by $100 per low spending district. That's now codified into statute and not likely to go away. So, I mean, that's going to be there for the next 4 years at least until we get to that $9,800 per student. We will have an election, a new biennium, a new who knows what, so it's very difficult to say beyond that where our state budget is and what kind of aids we will be receiving, but certainly I think that both political parties are proposing increases in education funding, so it can't be bad for Plymouth, I would say, in general. And there is no... After this year, there will be no remaining carryover funds in federal grants, so we will simply be spending the federal grants that are available to us in the year they're available to us. We will have used up all of our federal funds. Also on the expense side, next year is the year we look at the teacher employment framework, where we analyze their teacher salaries for comparables against basically other teachers and opportunities that they have. Normally when we've done that, there's been an increase of about $220,000. Part of that is, of course, the benefit package. We had a challenge with that this year. I believe we have a 10% not to exceed in the health insurance next year, but that's still a very large number that we'll have to deal with. And the referendum projects will definitely be at the focus of the district. And we will also have basically a double budget to manage not only the operating side of the budget, but now the referendum spending side of the budget. It's basically taken our budget from a $30 million sort of thing to, I believe it's up around $46, $47 million projection next year because of that referendum spending. And that is all I have. This being a budget hearing, I'm happy to take any questions or comments, and I'm sure the board is interested in hearing that as well. Thank you.
So do we have any questions for John? Actually, I'd like to ask a couple questions just so that the television audience may understand. I'm sure we're all aware of what's going on here as board members. But number one question I have for you, that increase in the low income, low revenue spending.
Yes.
That raised our levy by approximately what?
Almost nothing. My projection right now is $24,000. And that is because everything is showing, all the estimates of our state aid this year are going to cover that increase for the vast, vast majority of it. So we should be in good shape there. That really did nothing to your taxes, at least this year. And I can't say that will be every year, but at least this year.
Thank you, John. Any other questions of John? That means all that work and effort didn't raise our levy aside. It did raise the levy, but just a little bit. Okay. Any other questions of John? Hearing none, thank you, John. I appreciate it. Now we need to approve the tax levies as recommended.
There are sample resolutions in your book on page 11. I guess we did get the page numbered this year.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the tax levies.
So number one would be that person.
Yeah, then you want the first motion. So we need somebody to make that motion, please.
I don't think we have it. I know I don't have that one.
I move that we approve number one.
I believe we have to be a little more specific.
I move that the Board of Education be authorized to levy a tax of $12,404,539 upon the school district's equalized valuation to meet the district's obligation and operation debt and other business of the school district for the 2018-19 school year.
I will second that.
Is there any discussion on this? Any questions by anybody? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Any objections? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next.
Well, that is that would be number, you move on to the authorization of the school board to engage in legal counsel.
Okay, so that was a total one of all?
Yep.
Fund 10, 80, 30, and 38, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, now you have,
Authorization of school boards to engage in legal counsel for 2018-2019 school year. We need a motion for this.
So moved. I resolve that the School Board of Education of the Plymouth Storing School District to engage in legal counsel as needed during the 2018-19 school year. I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Now, we need to move on to authorization of salaries for school board members 2018-2019.
I move that we continue the school board salaries at the 2017-2018 level for 2018-2019.
I second.
Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. Now we need to set the date for the next annual meeting.
Does anybody, the date? September 17th.
September 17th.
I would move that we meet on September 17th of 2019 as was suggested for our next meeting.
I'll second that.
So is there any discussion?
Yes, didn't we discuss last year that we were going to look at moving the annual meeting out farther so we'd have the information regarding the enrollment and would it make sense to do that?
so I knew that may be coming up, and so I have October 15th as an alternative, if that's what you would like to do. I looked it up to see what that date would be. John can give you the benefits and the,
Certainly, we would have more accurate information for the budget. The budget would be published about the time of the September meeting, which would be like tonight.
Okay.
Probably would have more, but not entirely complete information on student enrollment. We'd have the latest equalization aid number. There would be more accuracy in terms of the budget. There's our salaries and benefits budget. You'll see on the list tonight in the regular board meeting, quite a number of hires we've made since the last board meeting that are
Sure.
estimated in there, but certainly not reflected in there necessarily. We would know the selection of new teachers, health insurance, and all those kind of things that we really don't know out in August. The one downside is the borrowing issue. It's one of the requests from the bank is obviously to have an annual meeting budget. That's we don't approve the budget here, but it's the published item of the school board. That would come later. But there's at least a reasonable chance we wouldn't have to borrow much more at all next year, or maybe not even this year. I mean, we will go through the steps, but we may not even use the line of credit that we've had. And our need for borrowing really doesn't occur till November, so I still think with October 15th, you'd have adequate
You'd still
time to
be able
get
to
that budget, that borrowing through. It might require, however, I guess guess the downside of a special board meeting, if we did have to borrow for, like, say, the November 4th payroll or whatever date that is, to get that borrowing done in between the annual meeting and the
Well, you put in a tremendous amount of work into all of this. Does it impact you at all by moving this date? Is it a
I'm
good thing,
actually,
bad
my
thing? Would you-
previous district that I worked with before I came to Plymouth, 11, 12 years ago, did their annual meeting in October. I don't see a downside, like I said, it's having more accurate numbers and more accurate information to present to your public.
So which month would you prefer, John?
I think in October you have a better
Picture.
picture. Yeah, but again, you're dealing with really big numbers here, and yeah, you just have the ability to give more accurate information the closer it is to.
I'd like to withdraw my motion for the September 17th date.
All right, and I will, the other thing that the reason why we discussed this last year was we knew that this year it wasn't as much of an impact because of a biennial budget. We have a better idea of what the
Right, that's
budget looks
another
like
issue,
this year.
Much more.
Right, where next year, the budget may not be out until October as we went through last year. And so it gives the legislative process a little bit longer to be able to get a better budget available for us.
Give us, yeah, a better picture.
And that will happen every 2 years.
And so the next available date is October?
October 15th.
Okay, I move then that we establish next year's annual meeting for October 15th.
We have a motion to establish next year's annual meeting on October 15th, and second. Is there any further discussion on this?
Was it second?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Philip did, thank you. It was a quiet second.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Nice catch, Bob.
No, I don't, is anybody?
Yeah, now that you said that, it's like,
Okay, then we need a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break between meetings, and then we'll start 5 minutes, or you want that?
No, that is fine.
5?
Yep. As long as the TV people are good with it, I can do that.
Kind of quiet. They didn't really want to hear from anybody. You know, they wanted to hear from the couple doing it. But then they lost. Oh my gosh. It's like, don't even, don't even look at them. Don't look at outside. If they want to.
Saving that email.
I'm going to say something
Yeah, you could, you
but I
can kind
can
of
say.
like, you can
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need a motion to adopt the consent agenda as an order of business.
So moved.
Any discussion on this? All in favor? We need to consider the approval of the following from the consent agenda. Approve the minutes of August 21st, 2018 Board of Education meeting. Approve the financial report for the period of July 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2018, and approve the bills for the period of August 1st, 2018 through August 31st, 2018 in the amount of $2,520,929.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. District leadership team and planning legislative update. Carrie?
Yes, we had our legislative breakfast yesterday, and it was a quick meeting because most of the legislators have, they are not active on the floor right now, and we heard a little bit about some of the committees, but the one that impacted education the most was from Representative Katzma, and he basically just talked to us a little bit about the Bureau of Commission of Public Lands, and he chairs that committee, and he was helping us to understand that the proceeds from that particular organization goes directly to school libraries. And so we listened to him, and it really wasn't anything, as far as support or not support. It was just understanding mostly than anything. So that was what we did at our legislative breakfast. Now I know that we're starting to see the conclusion, or at least the beginning of the conclusion of the Blue Ribbon Committee that has been working on school funding. I'm actually going to be attending a session tomorrow night at 7:30 in Madison to understand where they're at and what is going on exactly with Senator Kitchens and Luther Olson. And so I'll be able to get more information on that tomorrow to find out where the whole school funding issues are going and how that commission is going with their results. So that's kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Our biggest concerns with school funding have been handled really by the low revenue bump, haven't it?
I don't know. I think that there's, I think that the problems are complicated. I think, there's, that low revenue bump still does not take away the fact that there's still this inequity. If they would go back to a percentage again, we would again start losing ground. So lately there's been just an amount given, but for years and years we were living off of a percentage, and when the percentage was given to school districts that were spending a lot more than what Plymouth School District were spending, then that's when that gap was widened. So I think that formula is still in place to a certain degree, and so I think that they're looking at that too. So I just think it's a bigger problem even than just Plymouth right now. So
What we did on that is temporary fix,
I believe
depending on inflation and what can I say, the powers to be. All right, and it works well now. It helps us quite a bit, and we'll still have to be frugal. And I don't think this district will ever stop being frugal.
No.
I think that's, of course, I think that might be in our bones, too.
It's probably true.
But it's a temporary fix. I'm sure that in the future, we'll be looking for another revenue bump, low revenue bump. We don't know when, we don't know what time. But as from my figures, what I was just looking at, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, this year, next year, we should be okay.
Yeah, I don't imagine otherwise. I think our biggest risk is the health insurance cost of it.
Yeah.
As we can adjust
It
that.
all depends upon inflation and other factors beyond our control.
So I'll bring more information back from that meeting.
Okay, buildings and grounds, update on the facility committee. Mr. Travis.
I'm actually going to let Carrie give us the update.
Sure.
Tell us where we're at with facilities.
Yeah, and we are at a point now where the planning phases with the engineers and with the high school are pretty much done. We are out to bid, and we will be looking at having some type of a groundbreaking in probably mid-October. Within the next couple weeks, we're going to start the planning process with the elementary schools, and so you should. We'll start bringing some of that information back, and we'll be meeting as a committee again next week. So that's kind of where we're at. The other part of the construction, even though this wasn't with the referendum, is you will start seeing some things happening because of the safety grant award that we received. We'll start seeing the laminate on the doors go up, and a few of the other things that were required in the grant, as well as the training of our staff. So that's part of the facilities too. So I just wanted to make sure that I let everyone know that that's on its way, and we'll see that, as you saw in the annual budget, that's been approved.
How is that coordinated, Carrie, between the laminate on the doors and the new construction then? Is the new construction covered under that grant, or will those doors have a laminate?
No, the laminate will be with the new referendum on those schools, but there will be laminate on them for the year until we,
Until
right, because there's a requirement of that grant that had to be satisfied before anything else. And there was nothing we could do about that. Yeah, and that's all right, because we have a year then for the students to be able to have that there. Yeah.
Sure, are there any questions of Carrie? Then, moving on, we will need to consider gifts and corresponding budget adjustments. And Carrie, this is yours again.
Right. So for gifts, we have a donation of $1,798.20 from Horizon Path for student transportation, a donation of $5,673 from the Soccer Booster Club for soccer barrier nets on the soccer field, a donation of $2,548.94 from Plymouth Rotary Club for a building project, and this would be the sheds by the garden, a donation of school supplies for the new school year from Focus Physical Therapy. And I would recommend that we accept these budgets and these gifts and corresponding budget adjustments, and a very big thank you to everyone who has donated.
I make a motion we accept these gifts as stated.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Then, the rest of it? The budget adjustment, is there anything else that we have?
No.
Okay, that's it, okay. And we have no period of public participation. Board liaison, Sally, community.
We met earlier this month. We had our annual meeting with the community ed. We had actually 2 new members join us. Anybody's interested in being on community ed, please contact the community ed office. Love to have more people on the committee. We also learned about pickleball. And I understand why some people are very enthusiastic about it. It is a fun game. Also with community ed, we have the classes that have started or are starting up this fall. Grow your own microgreens. There's also adult woodworking. This mural masterpiece is for grades 2 through 6, and it will be from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So kids will be working on it from all the different schools, and I do not know which school it's going to be at this year. Does anybody know that?
It'll be at more than one.
Oh, it will be at more than one.
They'll
I think
start
it
at
starts at Horizon,
We
I
always
believe.
rotate through. And we might go over to generations too.
So your children grades 2 through 6 can participate in this large painting. Also, the preschoolers, the little kids, Friday playgroups is still going on. There's a hiking club, which I participated in a bit this summer. There's tumbling and gymnastics for ages 3 and up. We also have the bubbling crock. This is going to be fermented vegetables. Learn how to do that. They have children's swim lessons and also cooking with herbs 101. Lots going on in community ed. Go on to the website or call their office and find out anything that you need answered. Any questions?
Thank you, Sally. Foundation, Bob.
Foundation, we met. Work is continuing with Party with Purpose. And again, we're looking for anyone in the community that would like to contribute or get involved or actually come and party with a purpose. So that's November 9th. The funds that we raise with Party with Purpose go toward the grants program that the foundation has established, and we've had great response from our teaching staff and their proposals on grants, and we've really seen some nice additions to the academic environment because of that program. So I encourage anyone to come and participate at Party with a Purpose. Beyond that, we are looking to fill board member positions on the foundation. It's a rotation, and we have a number of people that will be moving off the foundation. So if you're interested, please contact Andrea, or you could contact me or Jamie and let us know, and we'd love to take names and try to get some more enthusiastic people on the foundation. And that's my report.
Any questions of Bob? Moving on, Family Resource Center, Jamie.
We have not met yet this month. However, I do have a few things. They have a donation campaign underway right now to help fund the wonderful programs that the Family Resource Center does support. They're looking to expand the Parents as Teacher program to the 4 and 5-year-olds to keep and help them be prepared to start their pre-K and kindergarten. Also, they're having a Love and Logic class, which will be held at Kohler, but that's starting in November. And also, our interim director, George Palmer, has been actively participating as a tutor for several years, and he runs a citizenship class in partnership with LTC. And so that's underway now as well. And another big thing tomorrow, actually, tomorrow is the 19th, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, they have a screening for our youngsters. It's going to be held in Sheboygan, 1227 Wilson Avenue. It runs from 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock. It is a free screening. They did ask for pre-registration, but I'm sure if you call the Family Resource Center at 920-892-6706, they'd be able to fit you in. Good things happening over there. Again, they still have the Little Learners play groups and all those things going on. Visit the website, a lot of great information, and it's a really worthwhile group of people, establishment that's really doing a lot of good for the county as well as Plymouth, and we're lucky to have them in Plymouth, so take advantage of that.
Thank you, Jamie. Professional Development Council, Richard.
We had our first meeting of the year last week, and there are 30 teachers that are involved in helping oversee the professional development program, plus administrators. And the focus of this meeting was to get kind of the big picture of what's happening and how it's happening. And I think my takeaway from it is our professional development is really a ground-up type of thing. The 30 teachers and administrators, their goal is to get others involved in the production of the professional development. And the words I love to hear in that meeting was, we want to grow innovative leadership. And that just was really getting me going. But from top to bottom, it's very responsive, survey responsive, trying to say what are the needs, and let's see how we can equip you to deal with the needs that you're encountering. So that's kind of the big picture of professional development that we looked at our meeting last week.
Thank you, Richard. And then we're moving on to personnel. Carrie, would you?
Yep, we have one contract to approve tonight, and so tonight the board will consider the approval of a 100% contract for Nicole Burnett to be a 6th grade teacher at Riverview Middle School. Nicole received her bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. This will be Nicole's first year of teaching, and Nicole also did her student teaching at Parkview Elementary School.
Okay, we'll need a motion.
I move that we approve Nicole Burnett as a 6th grade teacher.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And support staff.
Yes, we have quite a list of support staff that has been hired at the beginning of the school year, and so Denise Rue, secretary, first, and some that have left. Denise Rue, secretary at Fairview Elementary School, has resigned. Gail Holtzman, special education aide at Riverview Middle School, has resigned. Gail served the Plymouth School District for 13 years. Terry Flores, special education aide at Fairview Elementary School, has resigned. Terry served the Plymouth School District for 2 years. And Darlene Schrader, food service at Riverview Middle School, has resigned. Darlene served the Plymouth School District for 2 years. Jill Rood, special education aide at Riverview Middle School, has resigned. Jill served the Plymouth School District for 15 years. Shauna Holly has been hired by the school as a school secretary at Fairview Elementary School. Melanie Hunt has been hired as a special education aide at Fairview Elementary School. Gabrielle Kramer has been hired as a special education aide at Fairview Elementary School. Hannah Wisman has been hired as a special education aide at Fairview Elementary School. Rebecca Gilbreth has been hired as a special education aide at Fairview Elementary School. Sierra Jacobson has been hired as a special education aide at Riverview Middle School. Megan Rosie has been hired as a special education aide at Horizon Elementary School. Ellie Kleka has been hired as a special education aide at Horizon Elementary School. And Tracy Carissa has been hired as a general education aide at Horizon Elementary School. And Katie Hildebrand has been hired as a special education aide at Riverview Middle School. And that would be the support staff update.
Thank you.
Familiar names there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, coming back to work in our district. Nice.
Can't get it out of the system once you're part of it. Mhm.
Wow, that's exciting.
Thank you, Carrie.
Very nice.
And we have to consider travel requests. So
Yes, we actually have 2 travel requests tonight. First of all, Tracy Heimbrecht, Plymouth High School agri-science teacher, would like to travel with students to Indianapolis, October 25th through the 28th, 2018. That should be 18. To the National FFA Convention. This request is consistent with the guidelines of board policy, and the expenses will be the responsibility of the students and families. And also, Romy Herrera, Spanish teacher, is asking another travel request with students to Costa Rica, June 17th through the 26th, 2019. And actually, this travel has been previously approved, but it's back because he's moving it 1 week out because of availability of students. And so, again, this is consistent with guidelines and board policy, and the expenses will be the responsibility of students and their families.
I make a motion we approve both travel requests.
Second.
Second.
Can you clarify the dates of that? Our notes say October 24th to the 27th, 2018.
25th to 28th is what I have.
October 25th through the 28th, 2018.
I have 24.
I'm reading the detail, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They're different.
And it is, one's different. Spanish.
Oh. Which one, Katrina?
It's
Supposed to be the 24th.
It's the 20, yeah, it's the first, not the detailed one.
Agri-science.
So which one?
For the agri-science.
For the agri-science, the one on the actual agenda.
Correct.
Okay, so then let's correct those dates.
27th,
That's
for the
right.
2018.
24th through the 27th. Thank you, Richard, for that correction.
And enrollment
Is correct.
is students, right?
Right.
It's not just one student.
Students is what he has said, yes.
Well, it
Normally
just,
it's a
it said
girl,
student.
yeah.
And
Yes.
just
Oh, yeah,
He's taking one student.
yeah, to students' availability and service, yeah. Yeah,
Normally he's had a whole group of them, yeah.
right.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it usually takes more than one.
do we have to make another motion, or we'll use those dates, the corrected dates of October 24th through the 27th, 2018, and then Costa Rica's June 17th to June 26th, 2019.
19.
19.
19.
You did say.
I did, but this retained.
I did. It might be my year. I don't have. We'll take the amended motion, and the second is still,
Second.
okay. Then all those in favor? Aye. Item number 12, the President's Report. I was just talking with Carrie earlier, and I was talking with several senior citizens. We're going over the taxes and the amount of taxes and the increases. But as I explained to them the benefits that education provides to this community, I also explained to them, like me, we're all getting old. We need to see a nurse. We need to see a doctor. And those people are coming from our educational system. They're coming from Plymouth. So that little bit of extra money that we paid, I think it was less than $2,400, is just a tiny bit more that you're paying, and it's well worth it to you and your families. So that's the end of the President's Report.
Well, thank you, Tim. Very good. And the superintendent report today, we are up and running. All of our fall sports have started and are in full swing into the conference season. I'm hoping for spring already. We do have lots of students participating and enjoying the benefits of being involved in the extracurricular activities. The cross-country team actually hosted its annual invite tonight here on the grounds of Plymouth High School. The high school is also gearing up for homecoming festivities. It will be starting Sunday, September 23rd, and running through the dance on Saturday, September 29th. The homecoming parade will be going through town at approximately 4:15 on September 28th, followed by the football game against Winneconne at 7 p.m. Also, our one-act play and the fall play have begun rehearsal in preparation for their performances, and the fall play this year is Leaving Iowa. And I guess it's really good, is what I've been told. So please join us to.
Not that there's anything wrong with Iowa.
It is a comedy, and I hear it's funny. So, yep. So dates to remember, we do have the Professional Development Day coming up on Friday, so there is no school. September 24th is a facility subcommittee meeting. September 28th is homecoming. October 8th is the committee of the whole meeting at 5 p.m. And October 16th is our Board of Education meeting here at 7 p.m. So that's all.
So thank you. Do we have any questions, or is there any discussion that anybody wishes to make at this time? Hearing none, I need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
I'll talk to John for the who?
From the board.